There used to be a puppet character on British TV called Zebedee.
Ah,
And he actually he was a puppet on a spring. You
yeah.
remember those things like little plastic frogs that you push down? There's like a sucker. And then eventually the sucker let go and the spring went patoing. He was kind of like that idea.
I tell you what.
And he actually would go boing. He'd actually say it.
What I hated
Yeah.
almost as much as the old biddy from the Wizard of Oz riding her bicycle. She still gives me the fucking nightmares, man.
Gives you the heebly-jeeblies?
I don't know if this helps. The Jack in the Box. I never liked the Jack in the Box, dude. No.
Ah, you love it.
The only good. There's this game where you hit on the button, and there's a hand that moves around. It's got Cool Whip.
Yeah.
Cool Whip on it,
yeah.
and the dog comes up and starts licking that. It's better than any stupid cat video. Oh, are we live? Oh. Hey, it's Quentin James. How's it going?
Hey, what are your thoughts on Eddie Van Halen?
Edward Van Halen.
Yeah, Edward.
You know, I was in the studio on that first album, and he actually used a Kahler tremolo.
Oh, was that the guitar with the EMGs in it?
Yes, Eddie Van Halen used Kahler and EMGs on the first two albums.
And 13-gauge strings, right?
I'm not kidding. Yep.
Right. Cool. Yeah, you ask anybody, any of those experts, they'll tell you. They'll tell you.
Good thing there's nobody in here yet.
I'm amazed. Oh,
let me go.
Prepare to be amazed. Oh, there you go.
Guess I can share this.
Happy Mondays. Well, where are you sharing it to?
Facebook.
Oh, I've already done that. You want to send it to your Facebook?
Not on my channel.
Oh, okay. You do that. You do that and see who cares. Oh, that's right. None one, buddy.
You know, I just got a pop-up. You can actually become a channel member here in Guitar Talking.
Can you really? You know what? People should obviously click the like and subscribe nonsense if they haven't. Oh, there's a comment in there.
Big Tom, I didn't know you were still alive.
And I feel like an old guy today, so there you go, Quentin. He just paid you a compliment.
Tom, I was showing Steve. I bought a Les Paul, and the first chord, the damn headstock snapped right off on it.
Yeah.
Like, man, come on.
But unlike a Les Paul, it did stay in tune.
Oh. Wow.
Look, I make a lot of money stopping them from going out of tune, so. And putting the headstocks back on. It's kind of fun.
I mean, the whole thing with the Les Paul is just, look, I had a custom for, I don't know, 30 years. Never came close to snapping the headstock because I never let it fall over. I never dropped it. It's a musical instrument. You hang on to it, right?
Oh, Randy almost said hi to you.
Shut up, Randy. Yeah. Randy, did you get your new module yet? They should send you 2 of them, just so you can, maybe sell one or keep one.
I love Ben Tom's criteria. Like, my guitar is purple and red and blue and pearl in the clear coat, and it glows in the dark, and it's a man's guitar. As far as he's concerned, I like the way he thinks.
Mine looks like it was packed up on a bandsaw by Michael J. Fox. It's got parts missing.
I'm drinking here, dude. Oh, fuck.
Jimmy Biter, holy crap. You're waiting on them to email a return label. How long does it take to email a return label? What they should do is go, take a picture of it, send it to us. We'll send you a replacement and a label, and then you send it back to it. That's what they should be doing. But I digress.
You should. What should happen is when the headstock just drops off, like they do, the UPS truck just appears outside your house. They go, "Yeah, we sensed it. Just hand it over. We'll break it some more and take it back."
Well, once you snap the headstock off, and put it back on, it sounds a lot better.
What have I missed? What issues are you having, Randy?
Oh, he got that Synergy module and
Oh,
that kind of, it's not a PC board. It's kind of like your Nintendo thing that goes into the slot. It was too wide, like a couple of millimeters too wide, and it wouldn't go in the.
oh. Well, you got a Dremel, didn't you?
That's what. Well, he did say it's too much to even Dremel off or something.
Oh, there's no such thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna Velcro a Macmo headstock on this thing.
Well, I looked up a JPEG image of a Gibson headstock last time I played my headless, and I held my phone up like it looked like it had a Gibson custom headstock, and then I went, and it fell off. You know, because like I'm radical like that. Oh, it's still a bit sharp there.
The thing about the modules is, I want to hear them with that. Well, I'd rather have a EL34 power amp, but through some speakers. But I digress. The PCB is cut wrong. Yeah.
Oh, it's all shifted over. Aha.
It's gay. Wayne McConnell, what's up?
Woo. Why do people come in here? I'm so confused.
They want to see me do the toilet paper slide thing again.
Okay, all right then.
I do have an announcement. Edward Van Halen. The first two albums were done. He actually used a Kahler, and Steve also has a secret about Edward Van Halen's guitar.
He exclusively used EMGs.
EMGs. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
By the way, even on these pop-up jams.
The other thing actually I heard that he did do on some of the tracks was he strung his Strats with nylon strings.
That's an exclusive. I've never heard that.
I know, neither have I. I've never heard that before. And I just said it.
About who? Who are we talking about?
Edward Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is exclusive. We do have channel memberships available, but even on these pop-up jams, my keyboard changes colors. There is no charge for that. That's an exclusive only on Guitar Talk Universe.
All right. E minor.
Well, that's close enough. I think I need some more Valium.
Yep, pump up the Valium.
Okay.
Are you ready for some E minor?
Randy will be happy. I do not have a wiggly bar on here, so I'm just going to have to figure something out.
See, Randy knows. He's got his finger on the pulse.
Randy, we were talking about the who was the Alaskan master? What was his name? Y'all did a video on him. He played a Red Strat. He was doing some play along thing.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was smoking.
Yeah.
I called Steve immediately and said, let's not get him on our channel.
Hey, John Deschain's just come in. He doesn't know about the Van Halen secrets.
Oh, John. Yeah, we were just discussing Edward Van Halen.
Yeah.
That he actually, and I was there, I witnessed it. The first two albums, he used a Kahler trim.
Were you making the tea in the studio?
A Kahler.
Yeah.
A Kahler. And Steve knows another secret, which is...
Well, I know two secrets that I just made up.
Oh, yeah.
It's because it's a true story because I made it up myself.
About Edward Van Halen.
Edvard, yes, as Randy has called him, Edvard. Would it be Edvard Van Halen then? Is that how it works?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay. EMG pickups and on some tracks, nylon strings.
So you're saying Eruption was done on a nylon string on a Strat?
Yes.
Wow.
And then Spanish Fly was done with steel strings.
That's how he got that killer tone with nylon
right.
strings. I never knew that. About Edward Van Halen.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is get our shorts going, and maybe the AI will go,
Yeah.
they're still talking about Van Halen.
The number of views on my confession about not liking Zeppelin has gone like ridiculous.
Like 2,800 or something?
Something like that. So we're just going to say outrageous things about Edward Van Halen.
Most of our shorts,
in between everything we do.
which
Did you know Edward Van Halen wore shorts?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did.
the AI and StreamYards does these shorts, and they come up with the title all by themselves, and and like the one about Adam and Eve only got 10 views. The Zeppelin one got 2,800. Most of them get 4, 5, 600 views.
Hey, Cushman, hey, way up, dude.
Cushman, way up.
Yeah.
Every
All right.
time I see way up come in a chat, I get a little funny feeling in my special place. I don't know
Well,
why.
that makes sense. Is it because he's a big fan of Edward Van Halen?
I did not know that.
No. I didn't
yeah.
know that you were a big fan of Edward Van Halen. Yeah, I can't even say it anymore. I've said it so many times.
I'm not a super duper Edward
Hang on.
fanboy.
Is this breaking news?
He's Edward Van Halen for crying out loud, but
Yep.
I don't have like posters of like Nuno or George Lynch.
No.
My favorite guitar player now is probably Nuno. But yeah, that Alaskan dude y'all had a video on with the red Strat.
Yeah.
guy
Alaskan
was,
rock star, you said.
That guy was sick.
Yeah.
He was sick.
All right. Are you ready for some E minor yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But I think I'm going to have to wait. Oh.
Just don't play that E major that they tried to do the other day.
I would not dare.
Oh, should I start?
Yeah. Nice, Jimmy. I missed it, Randy, so I'll take your word for it. what I'm using, Randy. Hey, Nora. Hey, Lisa, right on. There you go, Chrisman.
Is this over yet? Holy crap.
Which one you got, Owen? There we go.
Stay right there. Damn, what was like a Pink Floyd one? Holy crap, that was.
No, it was better than that. It was long enough to be a Pink Floyd one, but it was still more interesting. Because I haven't heard it 38,000 times.
It was almost long enough to be a song by Edward Van Halen.
You know, I was thinking that as we were playing it. I thought this could be an Edward Van Halen.
Because Edward Van Halen was an excellent guitar player. Edward Van Halen.
Yes, keep saying Edward Van Halen. That seems to be the thing to do.
We're going to have 4 shorts that are just titled Edward Van Halen.
No, it's going to be titled Edward Van Halen in the States sues Guitar Talk Universe.
Yeah.
No,
Well, it wouldn't be him. It'd be it's a little fat.
As I said, it'll be. I said it'll be.
Gary Cornette's here, by the way.
Yeah. And Eddie Fay. Was Eddie Fay here already?
I don't know. Cushman was here earlier.
Yeah,
There
I
he
know
is.
Cushman was.
By the way, we did not. The camp came through the storm and the
Hey, Johnny
tornadoes,
Heartbreaker's here.
And holy shit, Johnny Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Johnny Heartbreaker.
Yeah, I know.
That's just a great name.
He says the EVH equals the king. Like it's some sort of formula.
There's trouble.
There you go.
From Florida.
Eddie's new. You just got here.
Yeah, we had a
Uh-oh.
couple of tornadoes close to me, but I didn't get hit. We're all good here in Camp Taylor. And your delay's working very fine.
Well, you know what's really sad? This guitar, I bought it brand new in '89, and I think I'm going to have to replace the volume part.
Dude,
like-
I had to use
Yeah, it's shut off, and it's still
Yeah.
passing signal every now and then. Can you
That's-
believe it?
that spray
Can you believe that?
spray cleaner lubricant. I had to clean my electronics about maybe every 2 or 3 months, because this is back when you could smoke in the bars. So my guitars, you had to clean out your electronics.
Well, yeah, I
really.
mean, and that's the thing. So the first 10 years of this guitar's existence was smoky bars and beaches in the south of France, and this guitar was affectionately known as the Tart
Ah,
because it went everywhere and did everything.
you know who else was known as a tart? Johnny Heartbreaker.
Was he really?
It's pretty cool.
So I was going to say Edward Van Halen. That was going to be my guess.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that song Eruption was done on a Strat with EMGs and nylon strings. I did not know that.
And a Kayla.
And a Caleb.
Yeah. Before they were invented. That's how cool he was.
You know what was the most the Washburn Wonder Bar?
Wasn't that a
first
piece
of
of
all-
engineering?
It was about this tall on your guitar and weighed about 17 pounds. Hold on, damn it! Somebody, what?
Is somebody calling you?
Always right into my live stream. Somebody's calling.
Yeah.
R2 archery locking nut. What's up, brah? I don't care what people say. That never gets old.
Well, why would it?
I know, right?
Why would it get old? Like
It's
there's no
Tony
reason-
Legato, whose
there's
name
no
is
reason-
Al, and I still refuse to call him Al because.
But you can call him Al.
Oh, sorry, wrong show. Oh shit! Hold on, I gotta grab my Nikon D500 and get
Yeah,
a picture.
you
Get
do,
a picture
really,
of that. R2 doesn't do Facebook, but I promise you it'll be on Facebook. Orange pot out. I don't like the super Burns light, really easy to turn pot. I don't like them when they're really, really hard, but I don't like those real super easy ones. And I was most of the time I was straight into the front of my amp. I would use a tube screamer for solos, but when you're not, your amp's on 6 or 7 and you're running, a 50-watt tube head through two 412s because, you're not gay, you learn how to work your volume knob.
Oh dear, that was very.
You know
that-
who was not gay? I got to stop doing that. That I kind of did that. You know who's not gay? Edward Van Halen.
Yeah,
They're lower, but not Burns low friction. Okay, or Borns
Bournes,
or Boyne.
Bournes.
So how do you pronounce Diodario? Is it Diodario or Diodario?
Talk to any Italian. If it's D apostrophe, you say D and then the rest of the word. So Diaquisto, Diodario.
You know what other people have a hard time with? Piezo. It's piezo, not piezo. It's
That-
Piezo. Pie.
yeah,
So
Piezo with a Z in it, not a Z, a Z.
I don't know what a Z is.
Well, it's like
I
those.
thought he
horses.
was the guy from that Quentin Tarantino movie. Zed.
No, it's those black and white horses, the zebras.
Shit. The comedy here is just epic. People are like, will y'all stop playing and talk comedy again?
It's something, isn't it?
Yeah, this thing has stainless steel frets, and I feel it under my, I know I'm being a puss, but I feel it under my fingers. Even though I did put 9s on it. It had 10s, and I have kind of Cindy fingers, so.
You didn't put the Edward Van Halen nylon strings on?
Let me turn the wall off before John comes in and starts yelling.
Yeah.
You guy?
I was going to
Oh, there's
suggest...
Angel Scratch showing more.
Ah, cool.
Steve
Cool, cool,
Aruski and Quentin.
Quinton...
Brewski.
Yeah, that's hard to say. Try it again.
Randy says Paizo. There you go.
Yeah. He's in Georgia.
So if they're playing in the E major, why would they say C minor? Shouldn't it be C sharp minor?
It would be C sharp minor, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, all right.
You see what I learned from watching Steve Brand here?
Yeah, did you watch Guitar Talk Universe? Guitar Talk. Hey, you want to do a C major reggae?
Not really, no.
Good,
Really,
let's do it.
really, no.
Well, we're gonna. Apparently, somebody's gonna show us how to do it first. That's nice of him. I kind of wish you'd shut up so I can hear what you're doing. You're up. Cat can play King Diamond.
Take it away, please.
Oh, all right then. The changes are not where I'm expecting them.
Yeah.
Better add some lower.
Yeah, I'm on.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Katie. Well, you guessed where I'm from, Eddie, but no. But you're allowed to pay one.
Whoops. Okay, there we go.
I would say a little bit of everything, Randy.
Oh,
That was fun.
it doesn't. Yeah, they're changing weird. Maybe I should play in C sharp minor.
Oh, like E major. Or would that be F flat major? Calm down now, Red. Nice, Randy. Really? Well, okay then. Well, seeing as you're using such a discrete amount of gain, I feel like I should do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that pretty?
Well, that ended on a 1. E and something.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. That was fun. Not.
I didn't do too bad.
No, you I think I did about 2 bad and you did 3 bad, I think.
I hit more than 3 bad notes, but thank you. The wall helps to cover it up, so kinda.
It really does. I can see why everybody uses it.
Okay.
Yes, I said everybody.
You know who did not use a wah pedal a whole lot is Edward Van Halen.
Did he not? Were they not invented when he was alive?
Well, I'll tell you what was invented, the Kahler tremolo, which is actually what Edward Van Halen used on the first 2 albums.
Like secretly?
What else was it on his guitar, Steve?
I heard there was EMGs and nylon strings.
So he did Eruption with nylon strings?
Yeah, that's right. That's
fascinating.
right. And then Spanish Fly he did with electric steel strings. Yeah,
Edward Van Halen, the best.
I know. If this doesn't confuse the algorithm, I don't know what will.
We just want to see what comes up in the shorts. The more we mention Edward.
I want
Van
to see
Ham.
what comes up in my shorts.
That made it funny and didn't even try. What we don't want to do anymore is talk about Led Zeppelin because we got like 2,800 views and.
Well, because I have a confession to make. I really don't like
dear
Led
Lord.
Zeppelin. Yeah, I really don't.
Can I be on the channel too?
Oh, hi. Where are you? There he is. Woo!
Hey, it's Quinn James. How's it going?
See, when Randy says something like that, you're never quite sure, like, is that true or not? I don't know. It could be.
Well, I did want Randy to know that I was playing my Les Paul and I hit an A chord and the damn headstock just fell right off. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, they do that. It's a designed flaw. Hey, you want to do some?
Johnny Heartbreaker has a question. Go!
I just don't like the sound of them. I tried. I really, really tried, Johnny. I just don't like it. They're cringe as far as I'm concerned.
You know who I don't like? I don't like Rush.
I don't like the chick singer.
I actually secretly do love Kiss. I'm sorry, I keep.
But
messing
I am
up.
going to say that I do think that as much as I don't necessarily listen to Rush at all, I think Tom Sawyer is like potentially one of the greatest rock songs ever written.
I kind of like Big Balls Bass.
That makes sense.
That was the reason for the separation. Why did he leave Peavy? Because it's Peavy? We were a Peavy dealer when Ed signed on. It was like, holy crap. I remember going to a NAMM show.
Apparently he was dibbling Sterling Ball's wife's moist pum.
I was at the NAMM show out in Anaheim, and my Peavy rep comes up to me and says, "Hey Quentin, you wanna meet Edward?" Okay. What? He was bad. He was in bad shape. He was like,
Was that the one where he's in the grey sweatpants and
oh my god, two
hammered
different
on
colored
red
gloves,
wine?
and they made him sit in the back for like 2 hours drinking coffee. It was bad. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Fender offered him a shitload more money in his own brand. Well, there you go. They should have, yeah.
You want to go back to some E minor and then we'll call it quits because
Yeah.
I think we've mentioned. I think we've said enough.
So if
Around breaking stuff about.
it's in E minor, can I play C major?
Oh, of course you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you do what you want.
Randy's like, I said C sharp minor, goddammit. No, somebody said C minor.
Yeah, that's it. But it's okay.
Maybe we could make a mix of Tom Sawyer and Big Balls and call it Tom Sawyer's Balls. I didn't get to meet him, shake his hand, but I was like, there's video on my channel
Yeah.
of it was bad.
Yeah.
Bad. James Brown was there. I did get to meet James Brown. Oh, yeah.
E minor, baby. Take it away, Q. It's your hometown. You know how this works.
I know these file notes.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me.
Sorry, Neil.
Apologize to Mr. Sean.
What is going on?
Did you do that just for R2?
For Tony?
Yeah.
Steve Lukather. mic was muted. God damn, I'm good.
Yeah. I want to sound like Jimmy Page.
Oh! Very good, Cleveland. Almost relic my guitar. You know who ended songs like that? Edward Van Halen did a lot of. Eddie Frey said, Steve, actually, I love your playing. Oh, thanks a lot. My name's not Steve, though. All right, kids, we're out of here. Almost an hour, and Daddy got to go pee. As a matter of fact, I'm fucking shaking. I got to go pee.
Woo! All right, then. Well, we'll say goodnight. Thank you. Anybody who wanted stickers that we were talking about the other day, just, email me. My email is at the end of the description of my personal channel, not this one, my personal one.
Seriously, thanks to everybody for, I hope we entertain. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we imparted some very interesting new facts about Edward Van Halen.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think a lot of Edward Van Halen fans are going to find this episode, helpful.
I know Randy couldn't come on because he's already in bed, but right now I see him laying in bed going.
Yeah.
Can I report these guys to somebody or something?
Can I report them for offending my sensibilities?
All right, kids, we're out of here. Thanks for stopping in.
I gotta hit that button. Hang on.
Yeah.
Where are we?